All right, folks, here we go. We are at Jim Hines' place. He's the pin maker, and he's showing how he is making a pin. He's preparing all his tools that are necessary for the process, and it is a process, let me tell you. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of know-how, a lot of skill to make a true fountain pen, not just something you just throw together. Here, real quick, are some of the pens that Jim just donated to Larry's fountain pen channel right here, right there. All those pens not gorgeous, number 6 size nibs. Beautiful fountain pens, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that shine. And if there's enough likes on this video, he is going to make this beautiful pen and send it to me for a giveaway. So let's get the likes out there started. So I have 2 beautiful fountain pens that he just finished making, that he donated to Larry's Fountain Pens for giveaways. So let's keep those likes coming in. We're in Anna, Texas at the time. Now this is my first time ever to see a true fountain pen made.
And we have threads. Let me see one of the pens I gave you, Larry.
All right.
We'll see how well I did. Usually I have some spare caps around, like test caps.
Uh-huh. Okay. I guess it works.
Very nice fit. Okay.
All right.
All right. Next up, we are going to drill out the body. And excuse me, folks.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Frank. How you doing, sir? Yeah, we're live right now with Jim.
All right.
It's a blast, let me tell you. Hey, Francisco.
Hey, have we sold anything? Okay, this is called a center drill. It's a very rigid drill bit.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't move at all. So
hey, Foghurst.
when we go into the material, it's guaranteed to be dead on center, assuming I did all my homework and lined up the machine properly.
Yeah, I know it says pan because when I do a one in vocals, it always comes out a different word. But I can edit that later. But it's fountain pens, not pans.
Now we're going to follow that along with the drill bit. And you need to have a few drill bits.
Just a few, eh?
That's 119 of them.
That's all, just 119. Again.
Out of them, though, what's funny is out of them I probably use only 6. But you never know when you need the rest.
So again, here is what is going to be one beautiful fountain pen when he's done with it. And if there's enough likes on this video, Jim will send this to me when he's done with it. It will be awesome for a giveaway if I don't steal it. I'm the wrong person to hand fountain pens over. I love fountain pens.
All right.
Hey, Foghurst.
We're going to drill this out to just
How does it, I'm sorry, say it again. I lost you there. He said something, I got you. How long does it take for Jim to make a pen?
To actually take my time and do it right, anywhere between 4 and 6 hours. And that's a clipless, no bands, no cap bands, no rings. That's just a straight pen like Larry showed you. You start getting into making clips and cutting your own bands. Now we're talking some serious time. It could take days and sometimes weeks. So this we're going to drill in just shy of 3 inches, and the reason is by the time you screw in the section and you put in a cartridge converter, a standard international converter, you need about 3 inches of clearance for it to fit inside the body. Now, if you don't care if the pen will use a converter, if you want to just limit them to cartridges or just tell them it's an eyedropper, you know, you can drill it out to whatever size you want.
Now, these pens that Jim gave me, they can be eyedropper. Eyedroppers or cartridge converters, correct?
Or cartridges, yep, either one.
Yep, okay.
So now we're going to use Magic Drilling Lubricant, otherwise known as canola oil.
And what type are the nibs on these? They're number 6 what?
They're number 6 Jovo. I believe one's a medium and one's a fine. I got some nibs over there. We can adjust them if you want. I don't know that I have any broads.
Well, that's fine.
I got broad and Bach. I could make you a new section if somebody really wants a Bach nib or a broad nib. When he gives them away, somebody reach out to me. I'll make you one. Now you can't drill this stuff really fast, otherwise you'll heat it up, it'll expand, and it'll kind of blow the whole game. So this takes a little bit of time to do right. Lot of clearance, so we can't take any big passes.
I am trying to turn this stupid phone.
Oh, and pen making is messy, by the way.
Is that locked?
See the nice curly cues?
Ah! There's a curly cue. How do I lock it?
I don't know, I've never seen it before. Rotate the next one.
Well,
about a 1/4 inch at a time.
Francisco, I can't turn it sideways or it will lock the phone, lock the camera up, so I have to do it like that till I can figure out how to unlock it. All right. Sorry, folks, I can't turn the phone sideways because it will shut the camera down. So right now it's in the upright position. Sorry about that, y'all. What phone is it? Usually you can either swipe it up or down to get a menu. It's an iPhone. I'll try it. Swipe it. It says rotate phone to lock. I'm swiping up and nope.
Sorry if I got you, Edwin.
Okay.
Oops, wrong one. Okay, so now we got a thread for the section. And this is the opposite of threading for the body. We're going to do an internal thread on this. So we're going to use what's called a cap. And if any of your viewers out there have any auto mechanic or manufacturing experience, know exactly what I'm talking about.
I've never seen drilling like that. Kind of messing with my head, right? See the drill bit stationary.
Oh, you mean
That was Frank. He said, I've never seen drilling like this. Kind of messed with my head to see the drill bit stationary.
We do things a little reverse of what most people do.
Fuck it. I think you should be able to get, if you swipe the screen up from the button away, it's fine. It doesn't matter, okay? Okay. Yeah, I can see everybody that's leaving questions and asking questions, but if I turn it sideways, then it'll shut the camera off.
You won't be able to see.
Right.
All right. Well, if you got questions, shoot them my way. I'll be happy to answer while I'm working.
Anybody got questions, shoot them up. Jim will answer them.
I can do two things at once.
Well, actually 3 or 4.
Well, there you go. All right. More lube. This is a tap that's going to cut the threads so the section will feed properly into the body. Oh, really? It's the one thing about this setup here. I got only a little bit of space.
Hey, Francisco, is it busy out there? What's your favorite material to use to make pins, Jim?
You know, I got to tell you, I'm torn between this epoxy that I'm using here and good old-fashioned ebonite. Now, if you get the good ebonite, the stuff that comes from Japan or Germany, it's wonderful. I got a hold of some Indian ebonite, and I'd rather have rotten eggs in the shop than work with that stuff.
Now, what are these pins that you gave me to give away? What are they made of?
Polyester resin.
Okay.
Okay. And this one, we're going to cheat. We're going to start this off a little bit.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh,
We'll turn the lathe all the way down.
I'll try not to keep it all. I'm a thief. Jim is making me a pin. Hey, Jim, have you ever made a pin out of true stone?
No, actually, well, I take that back. I have made a pen out of true stone, not a custom fountain pen like this. Problem with true stone is true stone will actually not hold threads really well. It's too brittle. So if you use true stone, and some people do, you actually have to put some sort of insert, albeit plastic or ebonite. You've got to glue something in to actually hold the threads. So you can make the body and cap out of it, but you can't use it all the way to thread.
Now, Jim is making me a pen, and what is it going to be out of, Jim, that blue?
It's called Juma. It's a thermoplastic, and it's got like a reptilian pattern to it. Let me grab it.
And it's gorgeous, man. Wait till it's done. It reminded me of the Edison Collier Blue Steel, and he's putting a number 8 size. Is it a Bach?
It'll be a Bach number 8 titanium.
Titanium. I just saw it. Man, it's bad, bad boy.
Okay, give me one of them pens back. Let's test it. So this time, we're going to make sure the feed fits.
All right.
And what do you know?
It fits.
I did my job right.
Look at there. That's the beginning of it. That's going to be a gorgeous pen. Hell, they're all gorgeous pens.
You'll want to clean this up a little bit before you give it away.
Oh,
got
I
oil
will.
on my fingers.
I will clean it. They may not want that. Isn't that horrible?
Oh, I'll keep it.
Oh, no, no. I'll give it. Take care of it. I'll clean it.
All right, let's make sure I sized everything right. Good. All right. All right, we'll do the cap real quick. The cap's easier than the section. And I'll let you take a look at that. That's in the rough.
Okay, this is the start of it, okay?
All right. So, cap. Actually, you know what? We're going to do the section next.
Section first.
And there's a reason why. You don't know how deep to drill the cap until you actually have the section fitted in with the nib inside it. So, you know, I'm guessing here how much material I'm going to need. I have just a little bit less than the cap. Now, you know you want a cap smaller than the pen to proportionally be attractive. But this just gives me a little wiggle room to work with. All right. So we're going to take this.
Francisco, check out Jim's Instagram. Okay.
Oops.
Yes, Jim has Instagram also.
Alright, so this, we're going to do what's called a facing operation. What this is doing is just making this surface dead flat.
There it is.
So that's now dead flat.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this one we're going to put a Bach nib in, which means I need to drill a
Hey,
7
Art Temple. How's it going?
Means I need to drill a 7.2 millimeter hole, which is about 9/32. Well, getting ahead of myself. All this pressure, I don't work well under pressure. Mom, they're all looking at me.
Everybody's looking.
Alright. Got to center drill first. If you center drill and you do it right, when you go to drill the main hole, the bit won't wander, and it just works better. And that little hole will give the bit something to follow dead straight. Now we'll cut the tenon.
Just getting back into pens after over 60 years back in middle school in Houston. Just subscribe to your channel. Thank you, R. Temple. Thank you for subscribing. We already have broken 1,000 subscribers this time. So, a giveaway's coming up for that. Plus, we're having the Christmas Day giveaway. YouTube and on Facebook. Things will be happening. Now, Jim, where can they find you at?
On Saturdays, I'm out at Beltline and Coit Road in Richardson, and that's the Four Seasons Farmers Market. I've been working with the guys at Four Seasons for the last 3 years. They really like my product. The people seem to like it. My stepson is usually out in Flower Mound on Saturdays as well. That's 900 Parker Square. And then Sundays I go out to either Highland Village, which is on Justin Road, or Carrollton at George Bush and Josie Lane.
How often does the material crack or shatter while Jim's drilling?
When I first started, quite often. Lately, trial and error, lots of practice have showed me ways to avoid cracking. Polyester resin or the acrylic acetate, which is this stuff, sometimes no matter what you do, it just cracks or chips. Alumilite and epoxy and, of course, ebonite. Ebonite's a dream to work with. It'll take threads all day long. It'll never snap, crack, nothing. But these days, probably one every 6 pens will go awry and it'll snap. Okay. So now I'm just setting up to cut the tenon on this guy. Now we're going to cut the tenon to 10 millimeters. So set my handy dandy calipers to 10 millimeters.
It's a beautiful day today, 74 degrees, beautiful.
Okay. And we'll take a little pass, and then we'll see how far we have to go.
Like I said, I love wet pens. Did he say how many years he has been using these machines? How many years?
Well, the metal lathe here, this one here, I've only been using about a year.
Okay.
This is a recent addition to my shop. Now, these guys here, the old style wood lathes, and there's a couple more behind you, Larry. I've been using those somewhere between 15 and 20 years.
And I'll go right back, right over there. Okay, guys, let's give this video. Did you already show samples of how it works?
What's that now?
Did you already give samples of how it works?
How the machine works?
Yeah, Aaron said. Did you already show some
No, actually,
samples?
I really didn't. So, why don't you come a little, can you see everything fine? This is called the chuck. This holds the workpiece. It's got 3 jaws that move together so that it will, within reason, keep it dead nuts cylindrical. Okay?
Okay.
This is called a tool post. This holds a cutter. This is a right-hand carbide cutter. We use carbide because it lasts really long and I don't have to sharpen it very often. This up here is called the compound rest. This guy moves independently at an angle or side to side. As you can see, it's at a slight angle here. This here that I'm moving in and out, forwards and back, to move this forwards and back is called the compound. Yep. And then down here, this is called the saddle, and this moves up and down. This here is a lead screw, and when I engage this dial, this will take the whole carriage and move it automatically under the machine's power, so you get a nice consistent feed rate and finish. This is the tailstock. This is one of the tool holders. This is a Jacob's chuck. If you have a cordless drill at home, this is the same sort of chuck that goes on that, just machined a little more precise. And then this wheel can advance, as you saw while I was drilling. This will move a drill bit out and in. And that's really the basics to it.
All right.
And I've got a little bit more to go.
Now remember, the more likes we get on this video, Jim will get working on this pen, and he may just donate it to Larry's fountain pens for a giveaway. It never hurts to give me a thumbs up. I travel 80 miles one way to do this for Larry's fountain pens. Now, isn't that awesome?
That's dedication. Right.
Totally, because I love fountain pens, and Jim loves making them, and using them, and selling them.
So when we're doing this, guys, we're measuring in thousandths of an inch. So right now, I've got to bring this hanging down 34 thousandths further. Just for an idea, 34 thousandths is not a whole lot. Sounds like it, but it's really not.
If I was a multimillionaire, I'd have myself a swimming pool made out of a shape of a fountain pen. That would be awesome.
If I'm right, I should have about 2 thousandths to go. 6 thousandths, not far, not bad. So, got 4 thousandths of an inch to go.
There you go.
Which actually, that might be fine. No. Yeah, we're a little over.
Frank says, what's the other camera for, Larry? Okay, that's going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel. There's more on that than there's going to be on this one. What kind of nibs does he, hold on, just fade it out. What kind of nibs does he use, and where does his source stem from? Yeah, what kind of nibs does he use?
I use 2 types of nibs. I use either Bach or Jovo, or however you pronounce it. I'm German, I should know how to pronounce it. I source out of FP Nibs in Spain for Jovo, and I source out of England for Bach. And that works.
Do you ever make theme pins, for example, making green and red plastic pins to fit with the Christmas period?
Sure. In fact, I'm working on a pen fashioned after the phoenix for a gentleman. So
now that sounds pretty cool.
If you think of the Tibetan phoenix and the colors that history has.
A Christmas pin would be green, blue, and red.
I could make you a Christmas
I know
pen.
you could.
All right.
Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Jim right down Jim Claus Lane.
All right. I do this all the time. I'll put something down.
Art Temple. So Jim makes nice bodies. What kind of pen working will fit into them? So Jim makes nice bodies. What kind pens working will fit into them?
Like cartridges or converters. Or
yeah, so all of my pens will take International Standard cartridge or International Standard cartridge converter. You can also make them eyedropper pens by simply putting a little silicone grease around the threads, and sealing it that way.
Gee,
And actually, if you do that way, they'll hold somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 mil, I think.
Can you make facet pins? Bodies of like facet, six size facets?
You know what? I'm going to say I can, but I've not made one yet. So it's just, I know another pen maker that that's one of his things that he does and does well. We've talked about how to do that. I've not quite done it yet, though.
Did a bit of research. It looks like that Tibbet pin will turn out really nice that you just mentioned. And then Aaron just said, does Jim design feeds for the nibs, or do they come with the yovo and the box with feeds?
So my nibs come with feeds. However, I have some really small material that I've been experimenting with for feeds, as well as some ultra-thin ebonite for feeds. Now, none of them have worked yet, but I'll get it eventually. All right, so now I'm going to cut that thread relief like we did on the other.
Give you a close-up, y'all. I'll do whatever it takes to make Larry's fountain pen a successful fountain pen.
No, that's
As
not,
long as it's not going to outer space, because I don't
Well,
think I could get there.
that's not deep enough.
I'm going to have me a moment. You know, I've always wanted to meet an actual pen maker to see how he or she makes pens, what they use, the whole 9 yards, and I'm actually living the dream today at Jim's place. How long does it take to make a typical pen from the beginning to the end? That's Aaron's question.
Yeah, Aaron, I answered that earlier. I said about 4 to 6 hours.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Now, in all honesty, there was this one time, and if any of my other pen maker buddies are listening, they'll giggle. I was in Florida. It was about 2 in the morning, and I was teaching somebody to do this on a wood lathe in the hotel room, propped up on the desk. We made a very, very basic pen in about 2 hours. It wrote, and it looked okay, but it didn't have a whole lot of style to it. There's not much to do in that amount of time.
Hello, that's me. Okay. There you go. I want y'all to know I've been holding this phone for 35 minutes. And Mr. Announcer, the mystery man that nobody knows, has been holding the camera as well. Now, Jim knows what he looks like, but he's the mystery man.
He's nicer than Larry.
Uh-oh, think so. I'm the best looking one here, trust me. Do you ever give pens a complete texture, engrave the pens? Hold on, you're fading out. One more, let me get it pulled up. Complete texture, engrave the pens in a complex way, giving scales on a pen. Also, Francisco, are we going to get Larry? Are we going to watch Larry work on a pen? No, we're not. Or he'll never pick you up.
So, to answer the first question, and what I'm doing is I'm threading the section threads here. No, I don't do engraving.
But the buffalo pen, yeah, he did.
The buffalo pen, the clip, I did. Certainly, I engraved that, but not the body. I have a hard time calling myself an artist. I know a lot of people consider what I do here art. And I guess in some respects it is. But I've never been one for carving or adornments like that. Now, that being said, the first time I ever carved anything was on that Texas clip. And, you know, I showed it to a gentleman in Bulgaria I know, and he's like, oh, that's Texas. So I figured I hit the mark close. You know, it's something I'd be willing to try, but it'd be something I'd be trying first, not like having someone come and say, okay, I want you to do this big, elaborate design engraved on the body. No. I got to practice on something first before I'll take somebody's money to do that.
Jim, what is your favorite pen that you have made that you use and keep personally?
Woo, okay. I've only made myself one pen in my life.
Oh.
And it's a kit pen. And it's made out of Ambonia burl, which is a very rare wood burl. I actually have it in the house, and I keep a Jovo number 5 fine nib on it.
But people out there, and I'm not just trying to say this because I'm here in front of Jim, but if you're going to buy a pen, you need to check out Jim's stuff. I'm telling you, these pens look monsterly delicious. You want to just eat it. And just think how they're going to write with those nibs. Now, me, I like a wet, juicy noodle pen. That's me. I like them wet. The wetter, the better. Love it.
Now, we can also adjust the feeds to be very wet, Larry.
Good.
Yours will almost be dripping.
Oh, cool. You hear that? Yum, yum, yum. I'll just have to suck it up.
All right, let's see how we did here.
But, again, check Jim's stuff out. Give him a try. See what you think. And I bet you 100% you'll love it. Jerry says, what's Jim's website?
HeinzWoodCreations.com. Heinz is spelled H-I-N-Z-E. Now, the one thing, you will not find a whole lot of these custom pens up there right now. I'm in the process of rebranding, so to speak, if you will. So this will all be done under Heinz Pen Company very shortly.
I will post one of the business cards later tonight or tomorrow on Larry's Fountain Pen on the YouTube and my Facebook. Aaron, as pen makers does, Jim, have any thoughts about Jowo versus Bach?
Yeah, yes and no.
And Jerry just said love the ketchup, or like the ketchup. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not like the ketchup, but...
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think if you get a good Bach nib, it's better than Jovo. Problem is, Bach has got consistency problems. And just because you get a good nib this time doesn't mean your nib's going to be good the next time.
Now, what does Monteverde use in Conklin?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe both of those use Bach.
Okay, yeah, I have that. You send it to me.
Most of the pen manufacturers out there, believe it or not, most of them are using Bach. I'm not sure why. I don't know if they give a better deal in bulk, or if there's some sort of stigma around it. But Jovo is actually the oldest pen maker, or nib maker. They've been making nibs quite a bit longer than Bach. Bach's only been around since, I believe, the early 1900s.
Do you also able to put a gold nib on?
Absolutely. I do a lot of solid gold nibs.
14, 18, 21, what?
Okay, so 18 or 23 is what I can do. Jovo is 18. Bach, I believe, is 23. I have to check on that.
Okay.
Now, Jovo used to make 14 karat nibs. I've been told that they've been retooling their 14 karat nib stamps or presses for the last 2 years. If you happen to have one, they're great. They're awesome nibs. I can't buy them anymore.
Here's one from Jerry. Does he have 57 variety of pens? And there you go.
I like your sense of humor, buddy. You know what? Just for you, I'm going to come out with 57 varieties.
There you go. On the shipping, Jim, anywhere in the U.S., what does it cost to ship?
$7.15.
Okay. And do you ship out of the U.S.?
Yes, I have customers in Australia.
Okay. What does that usually?
About $35.
Okay. And that comes in a box.
$25 and $35.
Does it come in a box or?
Yes, I'm in the process of getting my custom boxes made. Geez, Francisco, I wish you could take a picture of that. And actually, Francisco, take a picture of that box in front of the nightstand and the aluminum box and post it on the Facebook site. So come around here.
Okay, here I come.
I got you, buddy.
Okay.
So this is the body fit onto the section.
Okay.
So far.
Isn't that cool?
Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to size.
1 second. Now, check this out, folks. Look what I get to do. La, 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 la. Ha, ha, ha. Eat your heart out. I was selling a pen. Did you ask something? Yes, he did, Francisco. Ask him again.
What's that?
Ask him again. He was selling something.
Oh, okay. Take a picture of the box in front of the Knight, the wooden one with the logo in it, and the aluminum one, and post it to the Facebook page. People were asking what kind of boxes they come in.
There you go.
All right.
Let's hear it for Francisco. Da-dun-da-dun.
So let me get a box nib out real quick.
Yeah, you've got to see these box nibs. They're to die for. My pen's going to be to die for. I'll be buried or cremated with this pen. With all my pens. I'm going to have a spell.
All right.
Ow! Let me show you something while he's doing that. Isn't that a gorgeous material for a pen? Look at this. Woo. And here's mine. Mine's going to be... Oh, shoot. Excuse me.
Scratching them all up.
Yeah, let me put these things down before I bust them all up. All right.
One brand new box number 6.
Well, that's pretty. Look at that.
It's a medium.
There you go. That is a box.
Okay. Now, folks, you'll have to forgive me. I got to take some measurements because it has been almost a year since I put a Bach nib in a pen. So I have to figure out how far and how deep I have to drill.
And he says, if you could cremate with your pen, Larry, I guess, the melted plastic and the ink will make a mess.
What does he care? He won't be around.
Oh!
Ooh.
Damn.
Bang, gotcha.
Wow. Eat your heart out, at least I'm here. How you like that?
All right, so that works. 8 millimeters.
For me, coming over here is like me going to Disneyland. How you like that? I'm at Jim's crib.
So, well, if I'm right, this will be easy. That's why I remembered. There's a reason I like doing Bach nibs, because there's only one drill you got to do. All right, we're going to flip this baby around and then make sure it's still on center. Now this is where it gets a little dicey. Anytime you take the workpiece out, trying to get it centered again.
Is Mr. Announcer a fountain pen user and a fan too?
I am interested in them, but my handwriting is horrible, so I don't really use them.
Yeah, so's mine.
And it's not really, his handwriting is really nice. For some reason he has this thing that writing's not good, but that's totally untrue. So I'm trying to get him to buy pens so that way if he doesn't like them, I can borrow them.
Well, there you go. That's a good plan. All right.
We've been live 46 minutes already, folks.
I hope you're not bored yet.
I know I'm not. Does Mr. Announcer have a face for radio?
Yes.
There you go. Actually, there's Mr. Announcer. Ta-da! No, I'm teasing.
Oh, I got a face for radio.
Little do they know that Mr. Jim is Mr. Announcer. Stephen Lawrence asked to join Larry's Fountain Pens. Okay.
So how many you got live right now?
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 that I see.
Cool.
If I'm doing it right.
Okay.
Uh-oh, it's ding dong.
Now, this is not the most accurate. What would be better is if I had a digital readout on the tailstock. But this actually gets close enough for government work. Just a little Sharpie mark. And what we're doing here is if we look at the Bach nib housing, guys.
Watching a master at his craft is a treat. Yes, it is. And being next to him is a treat.
The Bach nib uses 7.9 millimeter threads with an 0.8 millimeter pitch. So this hole down here is 9/32. This up here is basically 8 millimeters, all the way to the lip here. So what we're doing is we're going to drill in from the front of the nib, the distance until we get to the spot where the threads go, and then we're going to pop in behind it and we're going to tap these threads so it feeds in there nicely.
Aaron, watching a master at his craft is a treat. It truly is.
Well, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. I wouldn't call me a master, but I've done this a few times. How's that? But thank you for the compliment.
Hey, Jerry, Aaron, Francisco. Thanks for hanging in there and watching.
Just a little lubricant. Again, heat is our enemy at this point. Oh, sorry, Larry.
I'm sorry. There are 9 watches at the moment, Larry. Cool. Thank you for all yours. 9 watches so far.
Okay. Now,
They were posted, Francisco said.
thank you, Francisco. I appreciate that. So everybody who's a member of Larry's Fountain Pens, go take a look at the pen boxes on the site after the live feed. I'm just grabbing some paper towel and a Q-tip or two. I want to clean some of that oil out.
I will be announcing, why does the blank turn instead of the drill? Why does the blank turn?
Ah, okay. It's the way a metal lathe works. This holds the workpiece, and again, the purpose of a lathe is to make things round or cylindrical. So the motor is actually turning the workpiece while the cutters are essentially stationary. You know, I could take this out and drill it in a drill press like most people are used to seeing. But, I mean, back and forth, it's just much more convenient to do everything here. And these tailstocks are quite accurate and quite precise. They don't have a whole lot of play. So I can drill a hole within a couple thousandths of an inch and not have a worry. And let's face it, I'm not building parts for NASA. I'm building fountain pens. If I'm off by 2/1000ths of an inch, you will never know it. I might know it, but you'll never know.
Okay, Faulkner says, the boxes looked really nice.
Thank you.
Really professional.
Thank you very much.
And Jerry gave you a thumbs up.
All right. All right, let me go grab the tap for Bob.
Okay. He's
Want
gonna
to take a peek?
dun 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 dun.
Now I gotta figure out.
What's the prettiest, most beautiful ebonite material Jim has in his shop? Oh, wow.
Ooh, you know
Whoa,
what?
good
Down
luck.
in here.
Look at that one down there.
Wait a minute.
I'm not bending.
Prettiest, does it have to be ebonite or the prettiest material?
Let me see again. Ebonite material.
Oh. You know what? I've got a piece of orange molted down here somewhere.
And he's looking. In a minute, I'll show you what my pen's going to look like.
You know what? I don't have it here.
He doesn't have it with him.
But I'll tell you what, if you guys will give me 1 minute, I will go get you some samples of the prettiest material you guys will drool over.
All right. And I'll look for the pen. Let me see. Not that one. It's a square one. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I am looking for the pen stock that he's making my pen out. It's something like, I think this.
Look up by the phone there.
Oh, here it is, here it is. Right here, here it is. There you go, folks. Here's what mine's going to be right here. That's going to be kick killer, is it not? Shoo. Okay.
So,
all right, Jim's back.
Prettiest material. How about some vintage French celluloid?
Oh, my stars. Look at that. Oh, I
Yeah,
want that
Parker.
one, that one, that one, and that one. Go ahead and that one. I need 4 or 5 of them. Whatever. Oh, look at this. Damn. I don't see how Jim can stand it. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I know where these are, so they better not leave my shop.
I cannot steal anything. Oh,
No,
for
no
shame.
stealing.
For shame. For shame. Oh,
Oh, you know what? Let me pick those up before you kill yourself.
yeah.
Alright. Gotta figure out what the hell I did with the tap. Oh, that's over here.
Oh, it's over there. He would have blamed it on me.
No,
He said, okay, okay.
only a little bit.
Only just a little bit.
So I do have some molted ebonite. I've got black and orange.
Isn't it a square pen hard to hold?
A square pen would be hard to hold, but that's why you got this thing to make them round,
Yeah.
smart butt.
That was Jerry 550. And then Aaron says, beautiful. Everything is beautiful.
Where did I put?
Feast your eyes on that pen. Beauty, beauty, beauty.
There we go.
Beauty, beauty, beauty.
So these taps and dies, just to give you an idea of the expense involved. The tap and dies that I use to cut the triple lead threads in the body there and in the cap, the set's about $400.
Ooh.
So if you ever wonder why custom-made pens are expensive, one, it's all the practice, trial, and error that we go through learning our craft.
Nice. It's already round.
And two, the expense. This machine here is just shy of $1,800.
Whoa, hey.
The taps and dies, I probably got a couple $1,000s in taps and dies.
Do you have any dreams or goals with your fountain pen business? Do you want to make it like, let's say, I think Brian Edison, he's got a few people working for him. Now, he started small and increased his staff.
You know what? I've got a lot of respect for Brian. Although a lot of what he does now is no longer really custom pens. A lot of his line is CNC machined, and I don't consider CNC machining a handmade pen by any stretch of the imagination.
You're right, Jerry, not to mention the time and labor to make the pen.
Now, he does have still some lines where he is actually making pens, or some of his people are making pens. You know what? I'm in the IT industry by day. When I retire, I'd like to be able to make a big enough name for myself to where I can sit home in my old age and continue making pens. Every one I make is better than the last one before, and I've come a long way in a very short amount of time.
And what you could do, if I'm still alive, God willing, you can have me test them.
That's the idea. Larry's going to get to test every new model I make.
Yay!
He's the first one to get them.
Here we go. Check this out. Jerry said, what does CNC mean?
Computer machine something. It's basically a computer running the machine.
Oh, okay.
There's actuators on here, and actually they have CNC lathes.
Yeah, the last one.
You write a little program,
right,
and it'll come in, and everything I just did, it'll do in about 5 minutes.
Kind of like Karas Customs. They have those machines, don't
exactly.
they?
Yeah. And Karas Customs is a horrible misnomer. They are not a custom pen. Sorry. They make a nice pen, but they're not custom.
Nice pen, sure do.
Oh, here, I got a question for you guys. So, in making my own clips, one of the styles of clips I'm experimenting with is the wire clip, like on the Lammies. Do you guys as a group like them? Should that be something I pursue or ignore?
That's a possibility. I do like the clips on a Lamy. I think they're cool looking myself.
But I've never actually used a Lamy, so I don't know how they function or carry it in my pocket. They
feel good. They feel great in the hand. I prefer the Lamy All-Star. The Safari's fine. It's okay. But the All-Star, it's aluminum. But I just like the All-Star better. But they all about the same. The Lamy 2000, that's a nice one as well. It doesn't have that kind of clip, though. I think they work well, but they're ugly. Okay, he doesn't like them. And I don't like the Lamy clips. Okay, that's Frank. Aaron says, I can't stand those wire clips the way they look. All right, so much for the Lamy clip. All right.
I'd rather ask than go buy a bunch of wire and try them and have you guys not like the pens.
So what kind of clips are you guys into? Regular clips?
Moment of truth.
Here we go. Dun 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 dun.
It's threaded. I just need to go a little further.
But they do work well, Jerry said.
All right.
And Frank says, Jerry, CNC is computer numeric control.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
You'd think an IT guy would know that, right?
Aaron, regular clips with personality. Okay.
With personality.
All right.
So some curves and some style
like
and some
Larry the Pinbug clip. That would be cool. Like an ant clip. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be carving a bug clip. For
yes. You read my thoughts. Oh, wouldn't that be cool to have a bug clip fountain pen, the first ever? And slowly he turns and getting things ready into position. We've been at this 60 minutes and counting.
And we've almost got a whole pen roughed out.
There you go, almost. Jerry, an alligator clip with ruby eyes, smiley face. And then Aaron goes, Pelican, the way they use a bill is a great idea for branding.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Branding is something I struggle with. I am not a marketing person, so, you're not going to see high-pressure sales out of me. You're not going to see a lot of marketing hype or hoopla. If you like my pens, you'll buy them.
Yeah.
If you don't like my pens,
you won't.
Don't buy them.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
Isn't that simple?
And, gentlemen and ladies, there's a perfectly fitted Bach nib.
Right there. Look at that. Woo! It screams.
The reason I chose to stop what I was doing and do this first, let me show you guys. So we're going to pull this out and give you a little close-up. Fits nice and flush. I don't like it when they have that lip sticking out proud.
Let me see that little lip there. Oh, I see it. Okay, got it. Uh-huh.
Yep. Especially in the Jovo, the way the housing works. Let me grab one. The housing on Jolo is a little different. There we go. So they've got about a 3/32 of an inch lip right here. Okay? And a lot of pen makers will stick it into there. And that much of the nib will be sticking out from the section. That drives me nuts. I want the nib flush. And, you know, personal preference, of course, but it's attention to detail that matters.
And let's see. Jerry 550 just said the lathe reminds me of Niagara Falls.
The what does?
The lathe.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, it's splash guard, and I've got stuff on the back walls.
Here's what's really cool right here. That's cool.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to do this is we need to know how big to make the cap.
Slowly I turn, Jerry said. Here's Greasy Pete. Does Jim use extra precaution when machine celluloid because of its flammability?
Yes.
Yes.
All the things that I do with this material, guys, to dissipate heat, go right into practice when machining celluloid.
And Aaron, I totally agree with Jim on the nib fitting flush.
Thank you. Aaron, what's Aaron's last name?
Aaron, let me see.
Is that Aaron Logue?
No, Carlo.
Okay.
Yeah, Carlo.
I was going to say, if that's Aaron Logue, I'm going to...
Carlow, is that the one you're thinking of?
No,
okay.
different guy. The one I'm thinking of is another pen maker.
Oh.
Okay, so we have 2¼ roughly 2¼ inches that we have to drill out to fit the cap down.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a little more, I think.
Francisco, Jim is the perfectionist, but there is nothing wrong with that in this practice.
Yeah, Francisco's out running my booth today, so I could have time with Larry. So thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, Francisco, for your wife, I have that unicorn vomit pen I'm going to model for her. I bought the material the other day. So she should be happy at Christmas. What was I saying?
Oh, my battery's getting low.
We can plug you in. Hang on.
Okay.
It's iPhone?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this. Let me grab an extension cord, and you can drag this with you.
Okay. 64 minutes and counting. Ta-da. Jim is getting me a plug to plug in before it goes down. Francisco says she'll love it.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh, Francisco is saying about me being a perfectionist. Francisco has been in the shop with me before while I've made pens. He's got a pretty good idea of how much I throw away or how much, if it isn't right, it just never makes it. There you go. That should do you.
I am going to plug it in.
And you just have to hang on to that.
Okay, one second and out. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Back in business.
Okay. So what this will do, this will leave me, if I wanted to, that'll leave me enough meat to put a clip on top.
Okay. Aaron, has Jim ever had a flame incident with cigarette?
No, I haven't.
No, not yet. Nope, never. Hope he never does.
Well, and you know what? After that batch of celluloid, there isn't a whole lot left in the world.
Really?
There's one guy I hear rumors of out of Japan that still makes celluloid, and he's the only person. Now, somebody told me Montegrappa still makes their own celluloid. I don't know that I believe that.
Here's one for you. With the bit that doesn't turn, it makes it less likely to drill a hole in your hand.
It does, but if you notice, I'm not wearing any jewelry, rings, watches, nothing, or any loose clothing. This thing's running anywhere from 100 to 2,000 RPM, and it's got about a horsepower of force behind it. 2,000 RPM, you get a shirt sleeve, you get a ring caught on one of these, you're missing a finger. Woo. So, you know, just don't let the fact that the bit isn't spinning fool you. This thing will throw a lot more monkey wrench into anything. Oops. Just some
Hello from Robo says hello from Rick and baby Manny.
Hi guys.
And Aaron says again, doesn't Pelican use some celluloid with their pins?
Not anymore to my knowledge, but
And
I could be wrong.
Jerry says, good thing you don't have long hair.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, I went bald when I became a pen maker, just for that. I'm kidding. I've been bald most of my life.
Hello, Michael.
If Pelican uses celluloid, there are a number of pen manufacturers and individuals that when all the big celluloid manufacturers went out of business, they bought literally everything they had, which was years and years of material. Most of them do not resell it. So if you don't have any now, you're probably not getting any. I just happened to come across that. That was a small stash of very thin stock from another pen maker that he was offloading. So those are going to make very skinny pens, by the way. So I'm just going to face this off again, make this part flat.
Why did they stop making it?
It's dangerous as hell to produce. As flammable as it is to work, it's equally flammable to make. You can't run it in reverse and have good results. There we go.
Does all the celluloid have that unusual odor, or just the one from India?
Well, you mean ebonite. So you're talking. I think you mean.
He said celluloid, but
He said celluloid,
yeah.
but he means ebonite. Ebonite is vulcanized rubber. It's all going to smell a bit. It's a matter of how much sulfur they use in making it. Indians tend to use a hell of a lot more because it's cheaper than the Germans or the Japanese. As German as I am, I have to say that I think the Japanese make better ebonite.
all right.
Oops.
Yes, ebonite. My mistake. You got it, Jerry.
Yep.
He caught it.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Announcer. Thank you so much for the save. Tell me you're not bored off your mind. All right, drill bit. So
Whoa.
we're going to step drill for the cap. Well, Larry,
Okay, yeah.
here's the cap. So you got to figure
Right.
those threads have to fit over it. So we need basically a 12.2 millimeter hole when all things are said and
All
done.
right.
But we're going to step drill it. This is a 7/8 drill bit. And what this will do is, as the nib goes up into the pen
Cap.
body, it's going to provide less space where the nib sits, less airflow, less likelihood of it drying up as we go. And we said 2.275. And as you can see, all my drill bits have little marks all over them. And it fits about right. Oops. Let's do this. Put that up there. All right.
Here we go. Carter tried to get us on the metric system. Too bad people didn't go for it. Okay.
Well, what's funny, was that Carter that said that?
He said Carter. No, it was somebody else.
okay.
It was
So-
Jerry saying that.
I switched between metric and imperial when making pens.
And M. Duran just said, so this is where the magic happens. You got it. I think when you, oh, here there, and where does Jim get all the cool pins, acrylic, etc. from?
I make them.
He makes them.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Or another maker will make them for me if I can't get the colors right.
Foggers, what's Jim's opinion on pin bodies made out of obscure materials such as, let me pull it up, solid lava like the Banskadi Homosapien? As someone who has studied geology, I find real interesting.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been experimenting with some differing materials. I don't know that I'm a fan of stone for a pen body. One, I wouldn't be able to machine it here for sure. You need special tooling, mostly diamond tip stuff for anything stone, except for I think like limestone or talc. That could be talc. I think if you got a good process and the hardware to do it, it can make a beautiful pen. Now we have to expand the hole to its final size before we tap it. This is essentially a 12-point.
Aaron says, isn't the stone to absorb it? Pull that up again.
Well,
with the ink causing staining?
You have to line it with something. You can't just put the stone in there and have the ink sit. It's not like, you could do it with granite. Granite's not very porous, right? But any stone that you can machine relatively easily to make a pen body out of, you're not going to want to house the ink in it. It's going to have some sort of liner, either brass or steel or an acrylic.
From M. Duran, where can I buy one of Jim's pens?
You can go to my website. You can come see me at one of the farmers markets, or you can just email me or give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you about it.
And I will be posting later all the information where you can purchase a pen from Jim. That will be on. Jerry, Larry, instead of getting cremated with your pens, maybe Jim can make a pen out of your ashes from Mr. Announcer. Yay!
That's a little morbid.
Yeah.
But I like the thought process.
Hey, the morbid's fine. How about making a morbid pen then? How's that? Call it Larry Creation, the morbid.
There we go. We'll just cast your ashes.
That's it.
You'll become a fountain pen.
But you better be prepared to pay for it. It's not going to be cheap. Larry's not cheap. And you just got to tolerate all the bugs around it.
I wonder how much I could get off of eBay for it.
Well, I bet quite a bit. "75 minutes and counting."
All right, and we're about to tap the cap.
About to tap.
And once we do that, we will have roughed out the pen. And I think we can call it a day for your viewers, because I'm going to have to go relieve Francisco.
And I'm going to have to leave you this pen so you can go look at it, at least.
So we're coming up, guys, you got probably 5 to 8 minutes worth of questions. So if you want anything else answered, pepper me.
We're getting close to wind it down, so ask away. Aaron, when dealing with various colors and the raw materials, are any particular difficult to deal with?
Colors? No, not really. They're all about the same, to be honest with you.
Michael, this is cool to see. Yes, it is. Thanks for taking us along with you. Y'all quite welcome. Thank you for watching.
Well, I got to be honest,
Francisco,
guys.
he's on Facebook as Jim Hines. On Instagram as Hines Pens. And then, or you can email him at, and it gives your email address. Thank you, Mr. Francisco.
Larry and I have been trying to get together to do this for what? 4 or 5 months
or more.
or more.
And it's getting closer.
There we go.
All right. And he's getting ready to go into action. Frank, I feel like I'm a field trip with Mr. Rogers. You are close to it. Aaron, Jim, do wood pins as well?
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does.
They all have a liner of an acrylic material.
Okay, you heard that. Hopefully this video will get enough likes that Jim will work on that pen and maybe even donate it for a giveaway. I said maybe. All right. Jerry, but Jim can't wear a sweater because of the lathe. Okay, well.
Yep, you're right. So in the wintertime, it gets really cold making pens. And actually, sometimes the materials, like polyester resin and cold weather, do not mix. I've broken the most polyester resin pens while working on them in the wintertime.
Uh-oh. Here's one. Aaron, what's the price range of Jim's pens?
I can do a very basic pen, somewhere around $80, $90. And I've done pens all the way up to $600.
And then Francisco says, Jim started out as a wood turning teacher. Right, Jim?
Yep. Well, I've done a number of things. So I used to make furniture. I used to teach hand plane making. If any of you guys remember the old-fashioned wooden hand planes.
The little light things, the one that you can just...
The ones that you shave.
Yeah, okay.
I used to teach how to make those out of wood. I used to do a lot of bandsaw, veneer stuff. And I got into wood turning. Early 90s, I think, late 90s, and have done that. And like I said, I teach pen making. In fact, I was recently in Ohio teaching pen making over the summer. In fact, this is it. Show the back of my shirt.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Presenters. We had about 70 of the best pen turners in the country at that event.
Here you go. Aaron, what's the most scratch-resistant material?
Most what?
Scratch-resistant.
Scratch-resistant material. Probably epoxy. Ebonite is soft. It scratches relatively easily. Alumilite is probably the most scratchy. And polyester resin is probably somewhere in between. All right, moment of truth,
Here we
guys.
go.
Actually, this works best with a actually finished nib.
There you go.
Look at that. Now, if I did everything right, it'll spin true. No wobble.
There you go. Done.
So, yeah, we're done.
As far as the last basic, he'll just does whatever he does to polish it up and stuff, right?
Well, no. From here, I'll decide if I want to put a clip on it. And I will probably put a vintage clip on it. I have a whole series of them here. And I'm trying to get rid of my vintage clips. What I need to do my own, I need to buy a milling machine. So guys, if you want to buy a pen, help me help make better pens. So I've got these vintage clips. These are kind of like, you should recognize that.
What did you say, Parker?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay, I give.
You sure? Not the Verde.
Ah!
The old ones. So I'll probably put a clip on here. Okay. Or maybe just like a a plain.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Got a few.
That's
of them.
cool.
And then they actually, what will happen is, I have these other things here. These are called mandrels. Okay. And what these do, and I've had to make these. You can't go out and buy these. So it's handy having a metal lathe. This is for the body. What you do is you put this in what's called a collet chuck. Whoops.
Uh-oh, break it.
No, it won't break. This is epoxy. See? This slides in, and this screws over the body. And what this provides is a nice rigid holder for me to be able to machine this down freehand on the wood lathe. And then this guy is the same for the cap. You see the steps.
Hi, Sharon.
That'll screw in there like that. And then this will let me feed the cap. I have another one over here. Here's a collet chuck, by the way. That's what a collet chuck looks like. And it basically, think of a Dremel tool or a drill. And this is for the section.
I'll be darned. Okay.
And this will screw in here. And that'll let me bring this up and hand shape these on the wood lathe.
I'll be darned.
What I'll do on the metal lathe first is I'll turn these down close to the diameter over here. So it'll be a nice cylindrical tube of one set diameter. And then I'll bring it over here, and that's where the real art is. I'll freehand shape every pen. So even if you wanted to order two of the same pen, they're likely not to be exactly alike
Cool.
because they are handmade.
Right, that's good, yep.
I'm not a manufacturer.
That's good, yeah, that's what I like.
Okay. Other questions before we go, folks?
Okay, we're almost about out of time. Get your questions in now. 83 minutes.
83
Counting down.
minutes, and we have about the basis of a pen. So
Yeah.
there's about another 2 hours worth of work here.
All right, the countdown's going to start. 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. Okay, folks, that's it. Hey, thank y'all for joining me over at Jim's place, and he showed you firsthand on making a fountain pen, and I hope you got your answers answered. So remember, check out his website, and I will post it later on my site, and you can order some pens from the pen maker, Mr. Jim, and I'm sure you're going to love them. I love them enough to buy another and another. All right, all handmade. Thanks a lot. Falker says bye. We're out of here.
Thanks, guys.
We're done.